Hello everybody, welcome to another video. I've got something I was hesitant on doing, but I just found myself using all the space on this iMac's hard drive. Basically, there's only 160 gigs of stock drive in here. It's too slow. Not too slow, it's too small. So, funnily enough, we actually switched over to BT recently. I hate Sky. The whole Sky TV, Sky broadband package thing with an absolute passion, and so I ripped the Sky box apart and got this Seagate Pipeline HD2 500 gig hard drive out of it. So I'm chuffed a bit to that, and that is what's going to be going into this iMac. I'll probably then get myself an external like 5x400 enclosure for the 160 gig drive, just as like a sort of to back up my important stuff. But this will be going in the actual iMac, and it will be the main drive, the boot drive. One day, hopefully, I'll get myself an SSD or something to go internally, and then have a couple of externals at the back. But that's a lot of money, and this half a terabyte. I've never had half a terabyte in a computer before. In this MacBook, I've got 310 gigs worth of storage now, which is just far enough for me. So the first thing I'm going to do is as we did with the RAM upgrade, we're going to take this whole sort of bottom panel off. So I'll be right back with you guys. So before we start, I'd just like to say the same thing with the MacBook hard drive upgrades, like second hard drive thing. This is not a tutorial. If anything goes wrong, if you attempt this yourself, please do not blame it on me. It's not my fault. And yeah, I've never opened one of these up before, so I'm a little bit nervous myself. It seems like a bit of a job just to replace the hard drive. I was expecting it to be similar to what the original iMacs were like, iMac G5s were like, with the well, basically it was just these few screws on the bottom, and then the whole back casing had come off, and then you got everything there. But no. Okay, so now those 4 screws, I believe it was, are undone. Basically, we're going to flip the iMac over. Again, as I said in the RAM upgrade, put something on the screen or like on the bezel to stop it from sort of having pressure marks and that on the screen, because you don't want to do that. Okay, so I think it's just starting to. Yeah, I got to push these little RAM tabs in, and this is the front bezel. Awesome stuff. We now got to flip it around and pop off the back. There's a little like latch thing you have to put a card up in the top to release it. So yeah, awesome stuff. There's a load of dust in these intake fans. Be a good time to clear them out too. Okay, so here we are. I love the design of the back of this thing. You don't see it that often because it's up against a wall, but it's just beautiful. One gripe I have had about this iMac is the position of the ports. I'm used to having a G5, so it's sort of easy to get into, but you really have to like pull it out almost to put stuff in. I'd like to get myself a powered USB hub. It'd make things a lot easier. Yes, that's a big inconvenience. So I felt that click. I don't think you really heard it, but this should then just pop off, simple enough. And then we're gonna have to undo the camera and the microphone connectors for the front panel. So I'll be back after I've done all that stuff, guys. Well. That was one hell of a job. You have to put this card up into the vent, and there's 2 lock-in latches on either side, and that's an absolute nightmare to get off. But it is off now. You have to take off the camera and the eyesight. Same thing. The eyesight and the microphone, I believe. But the plastic bezel just fell down. That's the iMac there. We're gonna have to peel all of this stuff. This, what's it called? EMI shield. That's what they call it. You basically have to peel all this off, and then you can get to the guts. Then you can rip out the display. So it's not very boring. So I'm gonna cut this bit out again. Again, this isn't a tutorial, guys. So I apologize if you're finding it boring. I just want to document what I'm doing to this little thing, because I mean, look at it. It doesn't look too good no more. So I'll be back with you in a minute, guys. This seems so wrong. It's just all tape, basically. It feels so flimsy. It just, you don't feel like you should be doing it. But yeah, I'm not too sure what any of this is really. I don't really know the insides of iMacs. I believe that's the airport card. Well, there's a RAM obviously, because yeah, easy enough. Intake fan, battery, and this is what's going to have to come off all of these cables, and we're going to have to actually pull the whole display out, which is a little bit scary, to be honest with you. So yeah, I'll unscrew all of these and I'll be back with you, hopefully with the display out of the case successfully. Okay, so that was an absolute nightmare. All of this is peeled up, and now's the moment of truth. We're going to lift the display out of the iMac. I cannot believe. Alright, rock and roll. That should come out easy enough. There's a bit of tape holding it back on the top, of course. I'm gonna leave it like that, actually. I don't need to lift the whole thing out, I just need to get to the hard drive. But here we go. If I lift you off the stand, you can see here is the iMac. You got yourself your slot loading super drive there. I believe that's the Bluetooth antenna. They tend to stick them on top of the optical drives. There's the hard drive. It'll be a huge upgrade. This is over 3 times bigger than that half a terabyte hard drive. Yeah, I don't really know what any of this is. I haven't really looked into it. Wow. I believe half of the computer is still under this logic board again. So wow. So yeah, I'll be right back, guys. I'll just get the hard drive, swap around the brackets, and then let's put this thing back together. So it's getting dark now. Actually, this is taking forever, and yeah, it's in now, and you see where the SATA connection is. That's routing around there. The website tells you to deroute all of these. It's like, fair enough, okay. But this connection, this lead, isn't actually long enough. So I wrote, okay, I'll obviously just have to pull this one out. No, the whole thing came out, revealing all the pins and everything. I just slotted them back into place. It should be okay, but I am absolutely shitting bricks now because I'm really worried that it's not going to be working. So I'm going to put everything back together, and we're going to boot up and see if this hard drive is actually recommended. So it's really getting on now. I mean, it's pretty much dark outside, and so I apologise for the lighting. It's an absolute nightmare to get these 4 screws back in. So if you are considering doing this, bear that in mind. Have something with a really strong magnet on it, because you have to drop it in. There's quite a distance between where you drop it in and where the actual screw hole is, and you lose them in a big space, and you got to root around for them, and it's an absolute nightmare and takes forever. So yeah, just bear that in mind. But I just wanted to test it before putting everything back together, because, well, that would totally defeat the object. If it doesn't work, I'd have to take it apart all over again. But it's recognised the hard drive, and it just doesn't read the operating system because it's formatted. So that's really amazing, especially with the whole connector popping out issue. So I'm really pleased with that. So I'll put it back together, put it back on my setup, and yeah, just prove. I'll boot up into the Snow Leopard disk and show the hard drive working, hopefully. Hello everybody, it's pitch black now. This is going to be the last clip I record. This is an absolute mess on the desk. I've just plonked it on here, plugged it in, and booted it through the Snow Leopard disk, and as you can see, it is recognised, which is absolutely amazing. It's currently formatted in DOS. I just plugged it into the computer downstairs a few hours ago just to see if it was working. So yeah, this whole hard drive upgrade has taken me hours. It was probably a really boring video to you. Listen to the optical drive going. But yeah, it was painful. This is by far the most horrible computer I've ever had to work on, and well, I don't want to be going doing that anytime soon. So if you are in the market for an iMac hard drive, please, 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 if you're not confident in opening up computers, please go with an external. Please, please, please. It's an absolute nightmare to get into this thing, and it's not fun at all. I've just wasted my whole evening basically on this iMac. But hopefully I'll clone now the MacBook's hard drive over, so I'll get Lion on this thing, and it'll all be happy days, and I'll have an extra 340 gigs to play around with. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.